Alrighty, let's go into here. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to come to you and tell you, like, in brief, what I'm probably going to be just all rambly about. And so to cut to the chase, I'm going to be opening my Facebook public page. I'm on Facebook, but it's more of like a personal page. But I have decided recently that I need to just have an open public page, if that makes sense. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like my own little like page. Okay, I have a page, but I let it go inactive. I think after like 30 days, or is it 90 days? It's either like 30 days or 3 months or something like that. If you don't do anything on it, it goes inactive, and then you can like reactivate it. And I don't know if it's like hidden when it goes inactive. I'm assuming it is, like it's hidden from being found or whatever or whatnot. But yesterday I opened it back up, and I will link that down below, and I will be replacing my Facebook link with that one. If you want to send me a friend request on my personal Lady Lion account, that's cool. I have not been accepting all friend requests that I've been getting on there, simply because I don't know where the people that friend request me are coming from. A lot of them, I will know you from your comments, and so I'm like, oh, that's my friend from YouTube, so I will, accept her friend request. But there are some people that I just don't know who will ask to be my friend, and sometimes I will accept and then will later regret having accepted it. I let the page go inactive because, there's a YouTuber that I follow who has a personal Facebook page, and I really like how he set that up, how he's just like a buddy to everyone, and that's something that I want to be, as a friend to everyone. And I felt like the page that I was creating, that some bloggers and vloggers and celebrities and whatnot use, I feel like it's more of a, hey, look at me, one-sided conversation page. And I do have to give props to the two YouTubers that I also follow on Facebook who have their own page, who keep it, like they are still very much active and they participate on their page as well. But there was one gal, when I first created my page, there's one gal who's mainly a blogger, but she also does some YouTube videos, and she would post all this stuff on her Facebook page and would not talk to anyone who commented. And that irked me, that bothered me, because these are people. And I understand that she probably leads a pretty busy life, that she can't sit around and just shoot the bull with people on Facebook, but a lot of them would ask just simple questions like, what color lipstick is that? What color eyeliner is that? What hair color is that? Where do you go to get your clothes? Like simple things like that she probably could put in like the About Me section. She just wouldn't respond at all. And she's gotten better, because I follow her on a few different social media platforms where she now answers those questions more. But that was my first taste of what a Facebook page is like, and I didn't want to be one of those who was like, hey, come like my page and come look at all that I do, and I expect you to like all that I do. But then at the same time, I have a Facebook page or a Facebook account, and I have an Instagram account, and I have a Twitter account, and a YouTube account, obviously, and I'm kind of doing the same thing. But I just feel like the whole Facebook page thing was more of like, I don't know, I felt like it was less friendly. It was less warm. So the reason why I have been led to this is, it's funny because I got the thought, oh, maybe the beginning of this week, it's Saturday today, I don't know when this video is going to go up, but probably the beginning of this week, I had a thought that said, hey, you might want to reopen your Facebook page. And I thought, I don't know. It's been something that's been on my mind, and it kind of clicked, I think it was like Wednesday. I was talking to Sarah and also to my husband, and it was like, I just need to do it. I just need to open up the page. And as soon as like I accepted that that is what I am guided to do. It's funny because many times I'll get these thoughts of things that I feel guided to do, and I will kind of go back with, I'll go within and I will say, all right, is this because I'm like being led to, or is this all like ego based, like I want to do this and that is why. And the thing that I've noticed is that when it isn't something that I should do, if it's not something I'm truly guided to do, that I will have kind of like my brain will kind of not be able to focus on it, or I'll forget about it a lot, or it won't match up in my mind. It's almost like we got gears going on in our mind, or like cylinders going on in our mind, and when it's not right, it's like the gears they don't go together well, or the cylinders kind of misfire. When I get an impression to do something and it's right, it's like everything falls into place. It all is clear, it all feels clear, and it's like, do it, and then it's like nothing's stopping me. And so I just go and I do it, and that's kind of how I felt since Wednesday. It was like, you know what, I just need to do it, and so let's do it. So I reopened the page yesterday. Yesterday was Friday, of course, but I want to talk about kind of what led me to it, and I know I'm going to talk about things that might go way over your head, and that's why I also preface the beginning of this video, so you can click out of this if you want, if this is something that doesn't make sense to you. If someone came to me years ago with the stuff that I'm going to tell you, I'd be like, okay, and I know I would tune out, and then I'd be like, cool, maybe that makes sense, maybe it doesn't. You know, I've mentioned years ago about the full moon and how the full moon affects people and how the full moon affects me. And I have to say about half the time the full moon affects me, in the sense that like I get anxiety, I get this restlessness, and I just feel like just anxious. The full moon affects the tides, right? I have 3 kids, and I've been told throughout every pregnancy that my water could break on the full moon, you know, if I'm about to deliver around the time of the full moon. Nurses have told me that a lot of women deliver on the full moon. My friend's husband is a cop, and he has told me personally that the crime is higher during the full moon. And so here we have the moon that it affects us, whether it is full or not, which you would think is kind of silly, but it affects us. The same goes with the planets. So we all cycle around the sun, right? All of us, all the planets, all at different speeds, and we all revolve around the sun in a different length of time. Well, because of this, some planets appear to go in reverse, or as they call it, retrograde. So we go around, you know, and these other planets are going around, and it will appear as though some are going backwards. And when these planets go backwards, or when they go retrograde, and I know I'm very, very, very uneducated in this subject, so I'm giving you what little I know about it, because I don't have the strength and the time to like really dive into it like I like, so I'm just picking up little pieces along the way. So I apologize if I'm at all incorrect in any of this stuff, and if I am, correct me down below. But when a planet goes in reverse, it affects us. And each planet that goes in reverse affects us differently. Well, we have a lot of planets that are in retrograde, that are in reverse. And I wanted to talk about those things. I've been feeling this like ongoing anxiety since, God, what was that day? The full moon was April 11th. But I have been feeling anxious since like the 6th or the 7th. And I figured it was from the full moon. I normally will feel effects of the full moon, like I'll get the anxiety of the full moon like a couple days before, sometimes 3 days before, for whatever reason, and it probably is because all these other planets are in retrograde. I felt it on the 6th, and it has been like in waves ever since, and it's made me kind of a recluse, and it has just, you know, I wake up with the anxiety, and sometimes it'll last all day, and then sometimes it'll only last for a little bit. So I want to dive a little more on this. Now, Mercury went retrograde on the 9th, is that correct? Let me see. And ever since it went retrograde, oh my gosh, Holy Hannah. I've been feeling like oddly, uncommonly anxious, and I've been feeling it just a lot. And Mercury, when it goes retrograde, I will read to you what it says here on this website. It says that when Mercury goes retrograde, mistakes, misunderstandings, problem in communication, and transportation are likely. Do not sign contracts, nor buy new items, nor begin new projects. It's an excellent time to plan, research, and prepare for something that will happen later. Ever since Mercury went retrograde, I feel like I am offending everyone. I feel like I am like one word away from doing something that hurts someone's feelings. And because of this, I have been super introverted, and I've been like, okay, I will stick with just like the close friends and just stick with them and not really communicate much with those around me, because I swear I feel like I'm offending everyone, and I feel like everyone is on edge. I feel like there is this this collective feeling of angst and of misunderstandings, and I just don't want to be a part of it, you guys. But not only is Mercury retrograde, there's a few other planets that are retrograde. Venus was retrograde and then went back direct on the 15th. When Venus goes retrograde, money and love areas are reviewed, and old relations could return to resume or to be completed. New love relationships may produce a change of heart when Venus goes direct. Investments done during the retrograde phase of Venus could lose in value. Mars is retrograde. It says when Mars goes retrograde, it says when, I have all these messages that people contact. Another thing is too, like, and this is proof right now, I have just since starting this, I've had texts from people that I am like not even in contact with like regularly. But since Mercury has gone retrograde, I feel like I have been bombarded with phone calls, texts, emails, like oddly so. Not just normal, but like people from like just random things from people that I don't talk to regularly, from like with subjects, like they'll come to me with something that like doesn't, like it's completely off the wall. I just got a text from my son's friend's mom about how she's voting for some lady for mayor. And we never talk about this kind of stuff, like at all. But she's like, I'm voting for her, you should too. Anyways, sorry. But when Mars, because Mars is retrograde, when Mars goes retrograde, it says, any direct action becomes difficult. Traveling within, finishing tasks left incomplete, redoing, renovating, and repairing will work better than pushing forward with any new direct ventures. Jupiter is also in retrograde, and it says when Jupiter goes retrograde, it is good to review our visions, ideals, and belief systems in life. That's gonna go until June, you guys. So if you're questioning a lot of things, you can blame Jupiter. Saturn is also retrograde. When Saturn goes retrograde, it is a good time to revisit our relationship, work on long-term goals, responsibilities, and duties. It is a time to restructure the way we manifest our reality and find a new attitude towards obstacles. Pluto is also in retrograde. It just went retrograde on Thursday. And it says, when Pluto goes retrograde, it is good to reflect on how we are doing with change and transformation. So we have a lot of planets that are in retrograde, and I feel like I'm feeling it. And I feel like, especially since Mercury has gone retrograde, I feel like my thoughts can't complete themselves without something coming up and me becoming forgetful. Especially since Sunday, when I felt like even talking with someone, I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings or offend someone, and it's just like there's misunderstandings all around. I'm reading all about it on Facebook. My kids are going through it, like with their own friends, and there's just so many misunderstandings, and people are perceiving things wrong. And then with me feeling guided to open back up this Facebook page is kind of silly that like it's all kind of because of this. Part of me thought maybe I should just wait and wait a little bit in doing this public page. The thing is, if I do this public page, at this moment, it could change. I kind of plan on fizzling out my personal Facebook page. So I might just not be as active on my personal page and just leave it to the little group of friends that I have on there, and then be, you know, more public with things that I'm okay with being public about on my public page. Because I'm kind of anti having your own page, because I do feel like it's like me, and it's very one-sided. Again, not all people who have their own public page are like that. It's just something that I've noticed with a lot of very popular people who have their own page. I feel like it's, I feel like there's that lack of warmth and that lack of like friendship there that should be there. I have found that like when I'm led to do something and it feels right, there's a reason for it. There's been many times where I have felt pulled to do something, and I have wondered if it's because I've been guided to, or if it's just like purely like ego-based, or because of my feelings. Like right now, you know, should I just hold off and wait till all these feelings go away and then be fine? But I remember going to God once with a decision and not sure if I should go forward because He wants me to, or if it's just my feelings getting in the way and that maybe I should just hold off. And I got this impression that said, it doesn't matter how you got to this feeling right now. The fact is, you need to do it. I feel like I just talked about a whole lot of nothing to you guys, but that's something I wanted to come to you guys about. So if you're feeling kind of, I almost feel like I'm being pushed down into the ground, if that makes sense. Like I feel like there's like a weight on my shoulders kind of pushing me down. And so if you feel that way, you're not alone. There's a lot of just intense energies going on, and it is collective. In talking to loved ones and to friends and to online friends, it seems like it's a lot of people are being affected by it. So it might feel like a lot of aspects in your life are being turned on their heads, and you're sitting here reviewing it all, like why is this and this and this and this all going awry? And that could be because of everything going on. But because of that, I just feel like I'm just led to do this. I wanted to mention this to you guys because I know some of you viewers will feel pulled to do things, or will feel confusion in certain aspects of your life. And while I understand not all of my viewers believe in the way the solar system works and how that affects us, and that's fine, you know, that's totally fine. This is something that I have gained as a truth for me throughout the years, and so I just want to show that when you feel compelled to do something, do it. Like, go with your heart. Yeah, it might be because Mercury's in retrograde, it might be because Pluto's in retrograde, Venus in retrograde, which Venus is now direct, but it could be because of that. But go with what feels right, because there's a reason for it all. And if you feel strongly to do something, and if it makes sense, like if it just is like, I gotta do it, and I don't know why, then just do it. You know, you will never regret doing something that you felt pulled to do. You'll always regret not doing it, though. So if you would like to follow me on my Facebook page, I will link that down below. And I thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And if you've made it this way through, I love you guys. Catch you on the flip. Bye.